Revengeance.
Well, Boris, that's Jack. What did you think? I read that only 1 in 50 soldiers can kill with zero hesitation. Guess I'm a 2%er, huh? I know what they went through, yeah. But I sure as hell didn't let it stop me.
No, I guess not.
Regular guys, they couldn't handle it. All the blood and body parts, the fear in dying eyes. Me, though, I like it. A lot. No hesitation. No regrets. Maybe it's in my blood. Maybe it's the Sears program. Probably both. The younger you learn a thing, the better you retain it, you know? I remember Liberia like it was yesterday. All the abuse. The threats at gunpoint. Next thing I know, I'm getting off on cutting guys to shreds.
Raiden.
But afterwards it was tough. Especially once I got to the U.S. I got counseling and education. But every time I talked with someone normal, I felt like all the killing I'd done was gonna crush me. And it didn't stop. Not in my dreams, anyway. I'd hear voices at night, calling out all my crimes, but I couldn't shut them out. The rest of my crew adapted to American life well enough, but I never could.
And it returns only now. I've always known you have a dark part in your mind. Perhaps I should not have hired you at all. Perhaps you should not be near battlefield.
The hell with that. If I hadn't signed up, I wouldn't be here to help put an end to this. I gotta do what I can to stop that VR training. I'm not the only one suffering. I need to do this for my old friends. The boys back in Liberia who didn't survive. I survived all the killing, thrived on it. But the experience destroyed them.
Duh.
Sorry. I better get moving.
Raiden, do you know where the brains are located?
Not yet, but I'll figure it out. They must be somewhere in this building.
Raiden, do you know where the brains are located?
Not yet, but I'll figure it out. They must be somewhere in this building. What do you think about what Monsoon said earlier about memes? You think we're all doomed to follow some coded-in routine? That there's no free will?
Well, you're always going to have restraints based on what culture you're born into. The concept of memes was first proposed by Richard Dawkins in a book called The Selfish Gene. Dawkins, a biologist, stated that even if the actions of a living thing appear to be altruistic, each of its genes is still engaging in selfish behavior, purely as a matter of survival.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He went on to define memes as a different kind of self-replicating unit. They're the genes of a culture, from fashion to chord progressions in music, even political expression. And just like normal genes, they replicate. They grow, infecting more and more people.
You buy a shirt you like and put it on. Other people see you wearing it, then buy it for themselves.
Yeah, the genes of a culture makes it all sound pretty lofty. But the way Dawkins puts it, memes can also transmit worthless things, even the bad parts of a culture. Fashion's one thing, but value-related memes can put huge restraints on people's lives. For example, the idea that having lots of money is the ultimate goal, the thing we should all strive for.
Like in the U.S.
Any capitalist country, really. But anyway, you catch this money worship meme, then not only are you trying to get rich, you're also spreading that idea to other people. You have to. If that meme isn't the cultural norm, then what are you working for?
So you start spreading the word about how important it is to succeed, earn status.
Right. And the really contagious memes can be even worse. For example, revenge. A guy sees his countrymen killed by terrorism, so he becomes a terrorist and retaliates. It's an infinite loop.
I think it's the same thing with child soldiers. Kids' parents are killed by other kids, so they join the war next and start killing other people's parents. There's gotta be a way to break the cycle, though.
Dawkins wrote about that, too. How we can rebel against our genes and memes. Once you're aware of your own memes, you can train yourself to identify and replicate the good ones.
And kill the bad ones.
Right.
Well, that starts with me stopping this VR shit. The Sears program's one hell of a bad meme machine. Guess all the staff's already gotten out.
Probably. There's an evacuation notice for the entire neighborhood, in case you hadn't noticed. Can't exactly have civvies running about with cyborgs blowing the place up all around.
I'm not complaining. This way I won't have to hold back. Too bad the cyborgs didn't go with them. I'm not even here to fight them.
Yeah, but if you're expecting to find the guys behind all this, you're probably too late.
I know. I'm just here to get the brains back. Anyone who ran this operation, worked on it, stood by and let it happen, I'll deal with them later.
Smart plan. Wouldn't be much of a warrior if you started hacking up helpless non-cyborgs anyway. Those guys, we'll get them another way.
Such as?
Well, I mean, just getting the brains on our side could change a lot. World Marshal's got an iron grip on the government. Wall Street, too. Legal action's not gonna work. But you can bet the media's gonna descend on Denver like flies once you're done here. Once you've rescued those brains, they can start talking about VR training. If nothing else, it'll definitely change public opinion, and quickly. World Marshal's stock will plunge, giving them less influence in Washington. We could see a managerial change. And, you know, the guy running the project would probably be demoted. Reassigned, at least.
Demoted? For cutting up kids? That's punishment? It's gotta be Armstrong running all this. A guy who publicly has nothing to do with World Marshal.
Yeah.
Anyway, he'll have to wait. The way Monsoon was talking, Sam and Sundowner are in here somewhere. Taking them out's a start, at least.
Sounds like Monsoon was a victim of the Khmer Rouge.
Yeah, Pol Pot's regime. They killed nearly the entire intellectual class of Cambodia, all in an attempt to create a communist agrarian society.
Some reports claim they wiped out a third of the entire population. Just insane. Even without knowing exactly what happened to him there, you can start to see why he thinks the world is diseased.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what gave him his whole survival of the fittest worldview. Just one long series of traumatic events.
Well, directly or otherwise, the Khmer Rouge messed up a whole lot of lives. But all their victims didn't start thinking like Monsoon. People have to stop the cycle of violence somewhere. Stop the bad meme, I guess you could say. Of course, that's easy for me to say, having grown up in a nice, stable first world country.
Nah, I get it. Growing up in bad circumstances, it's no excuse for the crimes you commit.
Yeah. Man, their headquarters are massive. I wouldn't even know where to begin looking for the server room. Man, their headquarters are massive. I wouldn't even know where to begin looking for the server room.
You tracked down those brains yet, Doc?
Well, I'm afraid that would be quite difficult to do remotely. If you or Wolf can secure a priority connection on a terminal there, that would be another story.
How's it going with the brain units, Doc? Any problems?
Oh, they could not be better. They're being kept at exactly 36 degrees Celsius with a steady, uninterrupted supply of oxygen and glucose. Synchronizing them with our equipment posed some difficulty, but everything's perfectly stable now.
That's good to hear. What kind of VR are they getting?
I prepared very comfortable rooms for each and every one. It's not quite Schloss Neuschwanstein, but each one enjoys the equivalent of a 4-star hotel suite. Every room includes an attached pool and an extensive library of on-demand video programming. 3 meals are delivered daily, and while we're only able to do so much vis-a-vis taste sensation, it should satisfy the psychological need for food, at least.
Doesn't sound too bad. I wouldn't mind a little VR training like that for a change.
Oh, Oh, be my guest. I'd like to experience it for myself, you know. But for now, it is available to cyborgs only. Exciting work is being done in the realm of invasive brain-machine interfaces. But there simply isn't much demand for it at the moment.
I guess not too many folks are willing to stick electrodes in their brains just for a taste of VR.
Perhaps, but the sense of reality is considerably improved over nanomachine-based non-invasive methods. If prices were kept low enough, I imagine the video game industry at least would clamor for it.
Who coded the virtual hotel?
An assistant. He used to write VR programs for UGs, but now specializes in cyborg software. A bit of a niche right now, yes, but when brain-machine interfaces take off, it will be a big business. The children's accommodation is a reworked version of the original beta software he built. The room's 3D models are all made using free libraries. It couldn't have been easier.
I wish everyone loved their work as much as you do, Doc. They don't go stir-crazy, though? Cooped up in their rooms?
There's little I can do about that. Creating an open world would take orders of magnitude more resources.
What about communication?
Another weak spot, yes. The NPCs available to us are all for military training purposes. It will be some time until we see VR characters capable of convincingly human interaction. Sadly, we're also not yet able to connect multiple brains to a single VR space. My assistants are operating virtual agents to give them a bare minimum of mental care. But our team is limited in size, and none of us are medical professionals, you know.
They can't stay in there forever. So, Doc, what are we gonna do with those brains?
Well, I appreciate the bountiful data we've gleaned from them so far. But they're certainly draining a great deal of my lab's resources. If not for the costs, we'd gladly host them well into the future.
Don't think I can cover that. I'm unemployed now, remember? Besides, it wouldn't be healthy for the kids.
It's certainly more healthy than a hard-scrabble life in a disease-ridden alley.
Well, if you put it like that, yeah. But they can't even engage in real human interaction. They're facing an entire life spent in a virtual room. It's not right.
Well, we could expand their VR quarters and add more human communication. Would that work?
You're missing the point, Doc.
I spoke in jest. In fact, we've already begun researching a prototype child body. But you must realize our lab cannot provide these bodies free of charge.
Yeah.
And once in physical bodies, the question then becomes how they will live after that.
Well, all right, let's pick this up later. I gotta worry about the brains at World Marshal for now.
Yes. Worry about getting that data first. How is your eye, Raiden?
Great. My sight's perfectly balanced between both eyes. I think my vision's improved, actually.
Quite right, quite right. Your eye patch houses an artificial compound eye unit. The unit contains over 200 million solid-state image sensors, each with its own individual lens.
200 megapixels, huh? Doesn't sound like all that much.
More than sufficient for the application. A human's optic nerve has only about 1 million fibers, you know. Were we to add more sensors, your perceived vision would not improve. There's only so much modern image compression technology can do.
Huh. So I shouldn't expect any more dramatic improvements to my eyesight?
No, your brain would no longer be able to process any more visual information in real time. Still, compared to previous ACEs, yours has 1.4 times the resolution and a superior compression algorithm.
It may only result in a slight perceived change, but it could wind up making the difference during a mission.
Regrettably, I have not had enough time to develop a new eyeball unit just yet. Thus, I have cut out the ability to deploy the ACE unit separately and simply installed it on a fixed eye patch.
Works for me. If I was using an eye unit, I wouldn't see any better than a regular human.
But remember, the human eye is so much more than a simple light receptor. They play a vital role in person-to-person communication. Sooner or later, you'd miss it.
Stuff like that's important for some tasks, sure. For this op, not so much. And with less moving parts, the lower the chance of something going wrong. Besides, I like it.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear this.
I can worry about how I look after I complete the mission.
Raiden, Are you fully versed in the features of your AR display? It can serve many functions, you know.
Do I hear un lecture coming on?
A lecture? No, of course not. I'm hardly an expert. Of course, I know the first practical application of the technology was for aircraft HUDs. Then head-mounted displays, HMDs. The data could be seen even as the viewer moved their head. As the technology improved, it was integrated into retinal imaging, contact lenses. Soon it became standard issue not just for pilots, but infantry soldiers as well. Of course, with cyborgs such as yourself, the data can be fed directly to the optic nerve.
No lecture, huh? Anyway, there's more to my augmented reality than just upgraded HMD tech.
Of course there is, Dummkopf. You did not let me finish.
Oh, you weren't finished?
AR is a much broader concept. It is more a design concept than a particular imaging methodology. It encompasses HUDs, HMDs, any and all manner of visual real-time data overlay. Though recently, some reserve the AR label for virtual objects the subject can both see and touch. For example, your codec menu and zoom slider. Such objects do not exist anywhere in the real world, not even as images. They are fed directly to your optic nerve, so only you can see them. Yet, when you interact with them, sensory feedback is delivered to the nerves in your fingers. It gives you the sense of touching a thing that does not exist.
Beats lugging around a sat radio and giant scope, that's for sure.
Raiden, do you know where the brain units are?
Not exactly. Somewhere in this building. If we can find a server, I'll ask Doc to hack in and find out.
Understood. But perhaps I could be of assistance as well. I am a military UG in most respects. I share the same network protocols as other UGs. Should we locate the UG mission data input line, it could lead us to the main server.
Not a bad idea. But wait, if you could do that all along, why'd I have to hack into that tripod back in Mexico?
I apologize. The idea did not occur to me in that situation. However, it is likely the security there would have prevented outside UGs from accessing the network.
Wolf? You're a one-of-a-kind prototype, right?
Correct. I was originally conceived as a weapon to replace humans and cyborgs. Conversation and intelligent decision-making were deemed essential to the role. The project was eventually cancelled after 3 years in development.
Why?
I have intelligence, but I lack a specific quality essential to any combatant.
What's that?
Brutality. I am not human, thus I lack the brutality inherent to humanity. I was shut down, then revived, apparently on Sundowner's orders.
Sundowner? But what's he want with you?
Unknown. A manifestation of his sense of humor, perhaps. As a machine, I am more sensitive to my fellow man than an actual fellow man. This amused him.
Guy has an odd sense of humor. So, you were under Mistral's command all this time?
I originally took orders from Sundowner, but not for long. As a novelty, I did not last. Mistral saw more potential in me.
What'd she see?
Unknown. However, she apparently enjoys the company of dogs. She demanded 100% obedience. As long as it was given, she treated me well.
She was looking for companionship?
That I cannot say. I still have relatively little communication experience with humans. My ability to read emotions not explicitly expressed by speech is lacking.
I'm sorry, sir. Our business, if you do not comply, I will need to contact local law enforcement.
Watch out! They keep on coming!
Dead on! Bullseye! Dead on! Bullseye! Get off!
Raiden, Sundowner contacted you from the top floor. Time to make your way up there. elevators appear to be disabled, which we should have expected, I suppose.
I will access the control unit. Perhaps you can hack an elevator and make it operational.
Ooh, splendid idea. By all means, yes. It seems the guards are storming the building. Raiden, get back to the entrance. Buy me some time to get this elevator operational.
You can control that UGT as well, yes? Give them hell!
My hack was a success! Und der Elevator reifen!
Get off!
For security purposes, the building is divided into upper and lower halves. The lower area consists of offices and meeting space for staff and visitors, while confidential military projects and technical research are restricted to the upper levels.
So that's where the brains in the server room will be, up top.
Indeed. But that elevator can only access the lower floors. You need to get to the 20th floor and past the security gate there to reach the upper area.
Let me guess. Time to find another left hand?
Well, that is the problem. Security cyborgs would not have sufficient clearance. But managers and senior staff have already been evacuated, no doubt.
So...
The only option is to cut the power to the security gate, which will not be easy. It is powered by no less than 3 systems, including a backup power supply. You will need to destroy all of the electrical control panels to disable them. In any case, you should arrive at the 20th floor soon. The electrical panels are most likely hidden in the walls. Use your enhanced AR to search for any unusual heat sources inside the walls there. Ah, the security gate. It is composed of steel alloy bonded by a high-frequency electrical current. It should unlock fantastic focus. No choice now. What happened? What is going on? Raiden, answer me! Raiden! The electrical panels are most likely hidden in the walls. Use your enhanced AR to search for any unusual heat sources inside the walls there. There should be an electrical panel nearby. Use your enhanced AR to locate. Good! 1 down, 2 to go. Keep at it, Raiden.
choice now!
What's wrong? Come on, buddy, answer me! Raiden? Raiden! The electrical panels are most likely hidden in the walls. Use your enhanced AR to search for any unusual heat sources inside the walls there. There should be an electrical panel nearby. Use your enhanced AR. Good. 1 down, 2 to go. Keep at it, Raiden. There should be an electrical panel nearby. Use your enhanced AR to locate it.
Bullseye!
There should be an electrical panel nearby. Use your enhanced AR to locate it.
Get off! Bullseye!
Excellent! Just one more!
Enemy headed your way, Raiden.
They bombed you! No choice now!
head back to the gate. Raiden, shall I activate your pain inhibitors now?
No, keep them off. I need it this way.
Well, as you wish. I must say, I have turned more than a few men into cyborgs, but you... Well, your past is most,
What you getting at, Doc? Most of the time, you're working with First World ex-military. Grown men. Compared to the average Third World child soldier, I can't really complain. Most of them, they're the sort of guerrillas your typical patient gets paid to slaughter.
Perhaps, but,
This shouldn't be news to you, Doc.
yes, but,
Look, just help me take care of those brains after I bring them back. I do my business, you do yours.
yes.
They're pouring in from everywhere. This is crazy.
You do not have to fight every enemy you encounter, Raiden. Try and keep moving.
Nice for them to blow open the door for me, yeah? Idiots. Hey, what's wrong? Answer me! Raiden! Raiden!
They're pouring in from everywhere. This is crazy.
You do not have to fight every enemy you encounter, Raiden. Try and keep moving.
Nice of them to blow open the door for me, yeah? Idiots. sliders in the area. Perhaps they could be put to use. Keep climbing like that. It will be much easier for you. Good, Raiden. Yes! Right away's up now, yeah? Almost there. I have just finished analyzing the latest security data. You should find an indoor garden up ahead.
A garden? Sounds fancy.
A Japanese garden, to be precise. It is an area set aside for VIPs. Apparently, one of World Marshall's directors is a rather serious Japanese culture enthusiast.
All right, so what's this got to do with me? Is there something I need from the garden?
Not at all. You need only pass through that area to arrive at a freight elevator. I found a route to the elevator controls through the unit we hijacked downstairs. I have located the server room as well. You can reach it via the freight elevator.
Great work, Doc.
Elementary, my dear Raiden. Now, head for the garden. What's wrong? Come on, buddy, answer me. Right?